Poor Superman. The most iconic superhero of all can never get a great game. But who cares about him when you've got Batman, who has lots of great games, including this one, Batman Vengeance. Anyway, you know how this goes. We'll look at the game and see if it's still relevant in today's society. Let's roll.
On a narrative front, Batman Vengeance tells quite an interesting story. The main bulk of the narrative involves the death of the Joker, and how various circumstances indicate that he may not be dead after all. To be honest, that was a terrible synopsis, but just know that you'll find a storyline that is faithful to the animated series.
Which is surprising considering the script was written by J.T. Petty, who had no affiliation with the show. Why is he so sad? Anyway, the story is told for a combination of FMVs and in-game cinematics. Let's start off with the good stuff.
The FMVs are beautiful, filled with excellent texturing, lighting, and animation.
They just look really nice, and I would have loved to have seen more of them. Sadly, the in-game graphics have seen better days, and now the game looks really rough and not attractive.
It doesn't help when you have such terrible lip syncing too. Check this bit out.
Batman, kill him.
Ugh, dreadful.
It's not all bad though. While the lips don't match with the dialogue, it's semi-rectified with the quality of the voice work. All the great cast from the series like Kevin Conroy, Tara Strong, and of course the invincible Mark Hamill bring this game to life the way text never could. The vocals are complemented with a great soundtrack, which provides the appropriate moody atmosphere and action beats when required.
However, story, visuals, and sound does not make a game. That makes a movie. The most important thing about games is the gameplay, and thankfully Vengeance does a great job in making you feel like the Batman.
Well, Batman in a limited playground. You have access to all his nifty gadgets, including batarangs and nets, which are operated in a first-person view. Sadly, the FPS controls just feel awkward now, as you make Batman wander around like a drunk who's looking for his car. Once you adapt to them though, you'll be taking out enemies faster than Superman.
Of course, we say limited because your grapple can only be used in desired locations, which is a bit disappointing. Batman also makes use of his old fist to take down baddies, which isn't too hard when they only fight you one at a time. A huge bonus in this though is that Batman actually has to use his brain. Yes, the Cape Crusader gets to use his noggin to solve an array of simple but satisfying puzzles. Something the SNES game sorely lacked.
Sprinkled throughout the game are also two vehicle levels, one on the Batwing and the other in the Batmobile. While the Batmobile level is fun, it feels a little stunted like one of those tiny cans of Coke. The Batwing level, however, is terrific. A fantastically entertaining chase through the rooftops of Gotham down to a busy motorway. Very nice. Of course, there's a section of all these pipes that really confuses me. I mean, what are they doing just hanging out in the middle of a street? It just doesn't make sense. It's very confusing.
The game also includes a number of different bosses, with each of them requiring a different technique to defeat. I particularly like the final boss, which involves battling Joker in free fall. I would love to see a Zelda game end like this, with Link and Ganondorf fighting in free fall. It would be awesome.
The third-person gameplay is topped off with smooth controls that makes Batman a pleasure to maneuver. Gliding in particular is very entertaining, especially the way his cape opens out, all smooth and shiny, like a bar of Galaxy chocolate. Camera controls, on the other hand, feel really primitive, which is disappointing when the game gives you an obscure angle.
All you can do is center the camera behind Batman, which is efficient but not desirable.
So looking back, Batman Vengeance tells a great story with fantastic voice work and makes you feel like Batman, including the detective part.
However, the game's not perfect, as some of the controls feel limited and the game's visuals, while capturing the look of the show, are really rugged and ugly.
So, is it really dated? The answer is kind of. There's much to enjoy here in Batman Vengeance, but be prepared to put up with a less than stellar presentation and some archaic control issues. Still, it's a million miles better than Superman 64.